What's up, y'all? For right now, it is just me. Unfortunately, it is not polo shirt, pink scarf, Shadetree, but I still have those clothes, fortunately. What's up, Baked Baker? How's my audio coming through, guys? Still says waiting on your end. I don't know if I'm showing up for you guys or not. Yeah, it should be. Let's get over to the live chat here. Audio is clear. Awesome. I haven't gotten the Gucci yet, man. Although I did watch a video on how to make a fake Gucci wallet earlier just for funsies. I had a lot of people ask me whether... Awesome. I was wondering if that worked or not. I was like, okay, man, I'm going to have to break the dad jeans thing down. Those you don't know, you always call like adventure bikes and gold wings and stuff like that. I always call them dad jeans because, you know, dad jeans are super comfortable, super practical, you know, a lot of room in the seat, maybe an elastic waistband, way too many pockets. You know, you never fill all the pockets with all the stuff. But, you know, as much sense as they just make you look like a big fucking nerd. So that's why I call adventure bikes dad jeans. So what's up, guys? Hit me up. Answering questions, sitting here hanging out, going dirt bike riding tomorrow, so I'm not going to be out super late, but doing it for a little while anyway. I don't know if this thing actually hit 4:15 a.m. in England. What the hell are you still doing up, man? I love two-stroke mopeds, man. Taylor used to have an awesome one. You got Taylor Durden, who's been on a bunch of my videos. He had an awesome, I think it was a Pucci, or however you say that, Pucci or something like that. I'll say this, though. Moped guys are a different breed, man. Definitely a different breed. Polar Saxon, I hope you're up now, not not still up from the previous night. Python the Run, what's up, man? I've been loving your shit on Instagram, dude. This is the first place I saw the hashtag the nope rope when someone's talking about the snake. That shit cracked me up, man. Danger Damien, man. Dig your style. I think I got your sticker up right over there. It's the orange one there in the corner. And now I'm pointing at it. That's Danger Damien's sticker right there. Yamaha or Kawasaki all day long. I actually just finished writing a talking head video about Kawasaki, so look for that coming out soon. I am when it's not Triumph, I am Team Kawasaki. I am Team Green all the way. No offense to anybody else, but I just like Kawasaki, man. And pardon my lag. Thanks, man. I'm not really a Ducati guy. I never really saw myself on a Ducati. None of their other bikes, while they're awesome bikes, I don't have anything against them at all. It's just none of them really. I can't see myself on literally any other Ducati besides the Multistrada. It's the only bike that they make that appealed to me, that I could actually see myself owning. Even though I think that a lot of their bikes are great and beautiful and everything like that. Just literally, maybe a Diavel, however you say it, maybe. But, you know, probably not. I like my Rocket 3 better. David Osborne, fucking always with the questions of people 6 foot tall for motorcycles. If you're just starting out, man, get a Supermoto. Get a WR250. That's the best bike for tall people ever, man. I'm in Hillsboro, Drake. Hillsborough County, born and raised, man. Central Florida cracker. You guys know how I do. But yeah, man, if you're a tall guy and you're just starting out riding, man, I think Supermoto is the way to go. And you get cruiser stuff too, but it's just Supermotos or even just dual sports, just a dual sport like a KLX 250 or a WR 250 or something like that. They're so forgiving for a first bike, man. They're just so easy to learn on, man. I think way better than a small cruiser. Fucking douche-cotty. I'm learning all the new Ducati terms. I was talking to my homeboy Rogue Mogul, and he was going like, let me show you the Ducati secret handshake. When you meet another Ducati owner, you just both pull out your empty wallets and show them to each other. Lance Bongiovanni, I appreciate the offer. As of right now, I don't need it, but I'll keep you posted. If I was a cocktail, what would I be? I don't know, man. Tequila. Tequila, ice. That's my cocktail. That's it. And he's right, man. There's fucking all the 250 class dirt bikes. You can't really go wrong with. I probably wouldn't recommend. Yamaha makes a really small one it's called the XT 250. I'd probably stay away from that. If you're gonna do Yamaha, the WR is probably a way better bet than the XT. The XT is pretty small. It's not really a dirt bike. Caleb, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you asking there, brother. Doing good and feeling fine. As you see, not drinking my usual beer, I got tequila and soda water instead of my usual beer because I'm on a diet. Baker, you don't have the video feed? No shit, man. I always end up managing to fuck something up when I'm doing this. I suck at this kind of thing. Oh, you like that Yamaha FZ09 better than the Hyper Motard? I've never ridden either one, so I wouldn't know. Moto Mantooth, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my brother. Casey Drays, did you get to ride the Hot Rocket 3? That's a hell of a machine, man. Even stock, they'll freaking blow you away, dude. Lance Bongiovanni, do I think Bajas or SSR or trash bikes are good for starting out? I honestly have no fucking clue, dude. I always see SSRs for sale. I mean, obviously they run. I have no idea whether they're trash or not. I'd love to be able to say something about that. If Lee Stewart was here or Jake was here, I'm sure they'd be able to answer that question a lot better than me. But I personally don't feel comfortable saying yes or no on that one. What do I think you should say to your dad because he doesn't want you to ride because you live in Florida? I don't know, man. That's there's a fine line to balance between respecting your parents and respecting people you love's wishes and riding motorcycles when they don't want you to do it. At the end of the day, it is your life, and what you choose to do with it is completely up to you. And if they love you, they'll understand. That's what I got to say about that. So, I mean, my parents didn't want me to ride when I was a kid, but I don't know. I just fucking did it anyway. I've always found it much easier to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission. I don't know if that's good advice or not, but that's how I've always rolled. I keep seeing you asking about EU motorcycle laws versus US motorcycle laws. I mean, I just don't even know what the differences are. What was that? Fucking these things are going too fast. I had one of your videos on at work the other day. A customer walked up the counter and said, "Is that you in the video?" Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Once you fucking have a beard and these glasses, I think you're part of like a group of people who all get mistaken for each other. Like that happens all the time. People come up to you like, "Oh man, you look just like my friend." I'm like, "Oh yeah, does he have a beard and glasses?" Like, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I look looks just like him. What's up, Moto Ricky Ricardo? I said, if I can get the Fobra. Have I ever gone to the castle in Ybor? About a million fucking times, dude. Absolutely. No, that's Johnny Cash on my shoulder. I have Waylon Jennings is on my leg, along with Willie Nelson. I'm probably not going to make it to Biketoberfest. I've been a couple times. Once you see Biketoberfest once or twice, you kind of know what's going on there. Cider or beer? I definitely prefer beer, but I don't have anything against cider. It's hard for me to drink a whole cider. Usually what I do is if I'm going to drink some cider, I'll do maybe like a quarter cider and the rest lager on top of it. And if I want like a sweet beer or something like that. A scale of 1 to 10, how is that banana spider? Dude, let me tell you, that has happened to me about a million times. You go out anywhere in Florida, you ride around in the woods, you're going to catch a spider to the face. It doesn't get any easier. Every time it happens, it sucks as bad as the first fucking time. DeFobra, I would love to come to New York, man. I would love to come to New York. Lee's got a link, man. He's probably, I don't know what he's doing, dude. He's out doing insanely long stoppies on his Z125. Jamie Clark. Originally, I thought I was going to get Chris Christopherson, and I don't have anything against Chris. I had a plan. I just haven't gotten a tattoo in years and years and years, man. Caleb, I am going to do a meetup here eventually. I'm going to do another meetup. A few of you guys watching may have even been to the ones that I've done before. I've done meetups at the Dirty Shame, and I do like kind of like not really a ride. It's just a lot of people ride there, but it's just a meetup to where everybody can hang out. And I'll cook food for it. A couple times we've had food contests, like a chili cook-off, or even I think we had a mac and cheese cook-off once. That was pretty fucking cool. But I'm going to do one of those again coming up here pretty soon. Baked Baker, there was Shadetree merch. I had a Teespring going, but it's the campaign is ended now. Tony Soprano, I would show you the Whalen tattoo, but I got to pull my pants down for that one. Usually I make that joke about the Willie Nelson tattoo. My favorite non-motorcycle YouTube channel. That would be a tough pick, man. I really like everybody else. I really like iDubbbz. I watch a lot of Philip DeFranco. As far as smaller people, Leon Lush. Leon Lush is one of my favorite creators. That guy is just great. He's recently blown up. He was smaller than me forever and ever, but I think he's right at like 89,000 subscribers right now. Leon Lush just does a great job, man. One of my favorite guys. Go subscribe to Leon Lush, by the way. That guy's fucking amazing. You won't regret it. Dude's hilarious. As far as like small guys, even though he's fast becoming not small. Jack Wagner, you got the Flying W. I dig your style, man. I dig your style. James Hine. Usually it's 21 and up. I'm gonna see. Technically, with our license, we're not allowed to have anybody under 21 in the building, but we do have a patio. I'm going to do some poking around with that and see if I can't do under 21 on the patio, because I know there's a lot of under 21 people who would like to attend these meetups. Dumbest tattoo I have? Definitely the spider web. That is the dumbest tattoo on my body. XS650 is coming along, man. It'll be done. It'll be back on the channel this month. We'll have an XS650 video. It's a lot of stuff has been done to it. I got a lot of stuff to make. to put in the video. So look for that this month. XS650 video. Palm Beach Rider, what's up, my man? Have I ever gotten bit by a tick? Absolutely, man. That happens all the time. You just twist them off. It's not a big deal. Amateur hour riding. My favorite route, you can do a big loop. It's pretty cool. Is you go all the way down 41 to the Sunshine Skyway. You take Sunshine Skyway all the way across the beach onto, I believe it's called Gulf Boulevard. And you can take that beach road all the way down. And then you can come back on one of the other bridges that are farther down, either like Courtney Campbell Causeway or Howard Franklin or something like that. And then come back around to Tampa. And it's just this big giant loop. And it's a pretty fun ride to do. Plans for the Ducati? Absolutely not. Zero. I luckily with all the stuff that came with that bike, basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a top box for it, and I'm going to put a rock form mount on it for my phone, and that's it. I'm literally not going to do anything else with the bike, and get a new windscreen because I need a bigger windscreen for long trips. Are we playing Tiplash? Yeah, I'm going to play it by myself, motherfucker. Get in here. Dom Dogs, enjoy that beer, my man. Next year, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia. Absolutely, dude. I would love to make it up that way. Definitely Georgia at the least, in North Georgia. I'm trying to make it up there this year with the dirt bikes up to Durham town. I just don't know if that's going to happen or not. Bullet Ben, absolutely, man. I don't know who doesn't watch Rick and Morty. That's right, Jamie Clark, the Highway 666 sign out by the beach. X1, what's happening, my man? Palm Beach Rider, dude. I fucking tell those guys about you all the time, dude. They know your name over there at Coppertail Brewery. Bruce, I love Road Kings, man. Road Kings, one of my favorite Harley Davidsons they make. Absolutely fucking love them. Totally classic bike. I've been out to the Full Throttle Saloon a couple times. It's a really long ride to go to a big box in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I like Full Throttle Saloon. I ain't got nothing against it, but I just, you seen it once kind of thing. You know what I mean? What's up, Moto Girl Vlogs? DR650s rock, man. Honda Magna, I think they're fucking awesome. I much prefer the 80s Honda Magnas to the newer ones. That's my personal preference. But yeah, I think Honda Magnas are amazing. That's right. Got to keep that pinky out Ducati style. I have not changed anything in my audio visual setup for like a year, 2 years almost, I think. It is the exact same shitty $1 microphone that I got off Amazon like a year ago. I'm using the same fucking one. What's up from Austin, man? How's it going? Waldo's doing good, dude. I wish he still lived here. It's such a bummer. I miss him all the time. I know nothing about helmets. I know nothing about Voss helmets, man. It looks like they're supporting a lot of moto vloggers. I guess that's cool. What do I think of bobbers? I don't know, man. I prefer choppers. I mean, the whole idea of a bobber is that I don't have anything against it, but the whole idea of a bobber is that you just take all the unnecessary stuff off a motorcycle. And to me, I'm like, okay, cool. It's just, you just strip down a motorcycle. I'm like, I don't have anything against that, but like that having its own style to me sometimes doesn't make sense. That's why when I say I like choppers, man, like you chop the rear end off, you make it a hardtail, you break out the front, you're drastically changing a motorcycle. With a bobber, I mean, you're basically, the idea is you're just unbolting shit and taking it off. It's a big fucking whoop, dude. You know? Favorite fast food place? No, man. Chipotle? I don't fucking know. What do I think of big wheel baggers? I think they look like fucking tricycles, dude. Like the big wheel tricycles that little kids ride around. I think big wheel baggers are an absolute affront to motorcycle sensibilities. I think they're freaking awful. Of course, that's my opinion. If you like big wheel baggers, knock yourself out, man. There's no accounting for taste. Taco bus, man. Yeah, I do love me some. I do love me some taco bus, man. The new Speedmaster, it's fucking amazing, dude. I'm loving it. I'm so stoked they came out with a new Speedmaster. I can't even freaking tell you, man. Fucking absolutely made my month when I saw that was coming out. I think they were always planning it. You know, obviously I don't think it had anything to do with people bitching about it. They were always planning on coming out with another Speedmaster. I really like it because when you have the Triumph bobber, you have a motorcycle where they're telling you what it's going to look like from the factory. They're just like, hey, this is the style that this motorcycle is going to be. It's going to have a single tractor seat. Like, this is what it's going to be. And when you have the Speedmaster that they're offering, you can do that. You can make it into that bobber if you want to, or you can make it into a multitude of other things. You can make it into whatever you want. They're not telling you right out of the gate, this is what it looks like. And that's the whole idea of factory customs. And that's why I didn't like the bobber. Now, if you like how the bobber looks and how it comes from the factory, that's great. I just don't like them telling me this is how the bike's going to look, and fuck you. That's why I like the Speedmaster better. What's up, Jake?
I'm telling everybody in your chat that I hacked it. That's how I got in here.
He did. I didn't give out this link to anybody. Fucking Hackerman 3000 over here. Jake's playing 3D chess over here. This motherfucker. Living in the year 3017.
You answering some questions from people just hanging out?
I'm just hanging out. There was one I couldn't answer that I was like, man, if Jake can answer it.
Oh.
I'm sure you've answered it a million times, but people are wondering about SSRs, the motorcycles.
The pit bikes?
I think they make actual street legal motorcycles too.
Yeah, I think they're dabbling in some bigger street legal stuff. I think some of their higher end stuff is like not bad, but they have a range. They've got a far range. You got the cheap China pit bikes too. There's nothing wrong with them if you just use them for what they're meant for. They're great. They're great to go beat on and just have fun with. But I think they've got like a full. There's somebody from China that's importing this, and a few people have it under different names. It's basically the old CRF 450X from like the mid 2000s, the one that they never changed for years.
Yeah,
they're selling that now like a full knockoff. Like you'll see these Chinese companies come out with this water cooled 450 with electric start, and you're like, what the hell? How? It's like $4,000, and if you look at it closely, it's a dead ripoff of the 450X. I don't even know how they get away with it, but it makes you think like that's a good bike to copy. I'm not saying, there's no way it's as good as a 450X, but a real one. But
you know who that happens to is Average Joe. Absolutely, love to see in Florida, man, and Moto Tap Mom would too. She works at the Shane Mini Friday, Saturday night. You'll find her in there. Is Kimco or Kimco, however you say it.
Kimco, I think Kimco. I've worked on some of their stuff. It's not too terrible.
They made so many different engines for people. Like my old Husqvarna, the T450, which was previously the BMW 450X. That's a Kimco motor, and so you can buy. It's in a different bike now. They're still since they just license that motor to anybody who wants to buy it. So there's a couple of different companies right now who are using that motor, and they built like different chassis around it now, and they're selling their own like really affordable like enduro style bike.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you use any of those cheap China things, if you use them the right way, they're not as bad as people say. I mean, yeah, you can get super bottom barrel stuff, and you can do things where you buy remember what Everride did? I mean, he did it on purpose. He took that Chinese bike and he just pushed it to the limit.
Yeah.
And but it was cool because it showed its shortcomings, and it showed that you could buy it and use it if you used it the right way, and it could totally serve its purpose to somebody.
I fucking love that they blew up on him. We're fucking trying to.
I know that's kind of cool, man. Like it's terrible,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like that's kind of cool to have that kind of reach. Hey, man, like the cheap China stuff. Like I said too, I think if it gets more people riding, I'm always think it's pretty cool. Teaches them how to wrench on stuff too.
Yeah. What's the way a lot of those not boutique, but those Chinese places do it because they know they don't have the dealership network here. A lot of them are really great about about getting you parts.
Yeah.
Where they make up with dealer networks, they have a dude who will answer the phone when you call and they'll get you parts fast.
Well, like that was kind of the way I got my first motorcycle, my first real one, which was like an R6. The story behind how I got that was by buying and selling cheap Chinese motorcycles in the neighborhood. I had one of those ones. It was like a little pocket bike with the headlights, and we were buying them for $200 a piece out in Dallas at wholesale. So I have to buy a couple at a time. Then we were selling them for, sometimes we sell them for $600. It's kind of like they're $600, but I mean we'd go down to like $400 pretty fast on them.
Right.
But they were actually really cool about it because like we had a few engines blow up or have a problem, and the parents would come to us. Oh, it blew up. Like, okay, hang on. And I'd call up the wholesale guys, like, and we'd go down there and they would just give us 3 or 4 motors for like, I don't know, like $30-$40, like multiple, like each engine was costing us $10. They're just, here, take a couple extra motors with you. If anybody has a problem, just throw a motor in it. I don't even know if like it might be a minor component. Just fucking
shows you how not how cheap they are, but it's just like it's fucking who cares.
Those ones were super cheap. I mean, now they got the ones with the manual transmissions and the air, like those are a little better. These were little 2-stroke single speed auto clutches. They were just fucking junk. But man, people go, oh, this thing blew up. They'd be all pissed, like, oh, don't worry, I got you, bro. I'll be over in a minute. He'd come over there with an Allen, like 2 tools. It was like an Allen it was a screwdriver and 1 Allen head. And I'd pull the fairing off and pull the motor and put a new motor in. And then there you go. And they're going, holy shit. Like, yeah, I wish there was more to it. I wish it was more complicated. Pretty simple. Y'all see my Elvis gnome back there? Someone see that? Where did you get the Elvis gnome? My family, I've got a bunch. There's some up here. There's some over there. There's one that needs to be painted. It's like a blank one. I was going to take that to a meet, but I'm pretty sure people are just going to draw dicks all over it. But I think I'm just going to let them do it anyway one day. It comes with watercolors and brushes, and it's white. Just let them paint it. But yeah, my family started getting me those, and I think they're funny. So,
hey man, everybody needs their gift. Mine was always hot sauce. People were like, I saw you one time. You said you like spicy stuff. Now it's hot sauce forever.
No, I do know about that because I really like Tabasco, right? And I'm not even like a super hot sauce fiend, but I love Tabasco because of the flavor of it. I'm not a big, I'm not that crazy into super hot stuff. I'm okay with it. I
mean, I actually really like the hot stuff, but
Tabasco. Yeah, I mean, I got spicy chili.
I just love Tabasco, dude.
Tabasco's good, man. I love me some Tabasco, and I love a lot of Mexican food. So you're up here and having the Tex-Mex style Tabasco just pounded all over. It's pretty good usually.
Now, I mean, I love spicy shit. I love making stuff super spicy, but at the end of the day, man, Tabasco is my fucking jam.
Do y'all have like another storm hitting y'all right now, or is it? No, it's more towards Louisiana, isn't it? That's right. It's not that big though, is it? I think it was like.
No, it's not bad. It's still gonna fuck them up, but it's not the worst.
Dude, man, my in-laws just got back from Beaumont, Texas, where they've got some family down there. I actually was at their house like 2 years ago. Beautiful house, but it's a shell right now, man. It's just terrible down there. Tell me how everything works. I can't help but think over and over, like, if you weren't well off right now, if you didn't have like some money in the bank and you were living there, basically if you were an average human being living in like Beaumont or any of those areas, I don't know what you're doing with your life, man. I don't know. Like it's terrible.
I have no idea.
Their house set 2 weeks.
Trying to get some government help and trying to get by.
I mean, government's gonna give them a little something. You're still like, I mean, they've got insurance. They're going to get some FEMA money, whatever. But even with all that, I mean, the loss that they're going to be at, it's just insane. It's massive. And they're right on that brink of retirement. They're not going to get to retire now. I Imagine that your whole life grinding, dude. You're grinding. You've got this badass house. You have this badass wood workshop. I loved making shelves and cabinets and stuff. It's all fucked now. It's all gone. And for some reason, the garage, he didn't have the right insurance on the garage. He found that out afterwards, of course, right? You know, so all like probably $100,000 in tools are just fucking destroyed, as well as his garage is gone. It's pretty terrible, man.
Yeah, there's so many stories like that, dude. It's just
Yeah,
fucking heartbreaking, man.
like I was seeing something they were bragging that we raised at the Plano Balloon Festival. Like, oh, we raised $36,000 for that, and all I could think is, fuck, that's not even a dent.
Yeah, no.
Fucking, it's nothing.
It's like throwing darts at an elephant, man.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
horrible, man.
just
real quick in the side chat, X1, if you're still listening, man, we'll catch you later. And I was also said to pardon my lag. I love the Hot Ones. That dude's one of the best interviewers on YouTube, hands fucking down. Love that guy.
I would say I hope he gets a television show, but I hate television, so I hope he just gets bigger and bigger on YouTube.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I just want him to get bigger and bigger on YouTube and just take over. He seems like a nice guy too, a really nice guy.
No, it shows that like the concept's so simple, but he's just a great interviewer and he's fucking just a cool dude, man. I love it. Hot Ones is great.
I love that comment he made. It was Wanda Sykes on there, and at one point she stops and looks off to the, like off camera to the side, and he goes, oh, the what do you call it? He called it the what was it? He calls it the manager stare down. He's like, yeah, we get that a lot here. Where Wanda Sykes is staring down her manager or her handler. Just what show have you got me on?
Yeah, you really have to do this shit. What the fuck is going on here?
She played ball though well. It was funny.
Oh, sassy Wanda Sykes, man. I love it.
Oh yeah. I love it.
Caleb, I've been by Shooter's World. I don't really hang out there. I'll tell you this. I actually I was talking about this with Lee, I think, on a different hangout, and I was like, because sometimes Lee just doesn't ride motorcycles. Like, he's getting back into it now, but I was just like, man, it's so sad that you see these guys who ride motorcycles professionally, and good night, baby. And they just kind of like lose the passion for riding motorcycles, because I can't even imagine that. I can't ever imagine not just being totally excited going 35 miles an hour in a straight line on a motorcycle. Even that makes me happy. You know, just being on a motorcycle just makes my fucking day. But I mean,
I've had moments where I didn't want to, but I think looking back on them later, it wasn't necessarily I was riding. I was fed up with it. Was just other external things in life that just weren't clicking right. And you know, I was just mentally a little bit off for a while. You know, it happens.
But that, when it's concerned with guns, because I see a lot of people who are just like, oh, man, they go to shooting range all the time. They go shooting. They're all to guns, and they're buying new guns and everything like that. And I spent my entire youth shooting guns and going to the shooting range. And actually, I shot competitively.
Yeah, you burned yourself out on that, though, right?
I was really, really into it, man, and I was good too. I shot competitively. During hunting season, I hunted every single weekend. Every weekend I was hunting, and every weekend we were shooting clays. Every fucking day it was shooting. And it's like, dude, I could give a fuck about guns. Like, I'm just like, dude. If people are like, you want to go shooting? I'm like, I just don't. I care so little. Like, it's just, it holds like zero mystery or excitement for me, like in the slightest, you know. And so I get it. I guess I get it, you know. I don't know.
And into like, I had a weird time where like I wouldn't say I didn't ride for a whole year because that's incorrect, but I definitely went to like I basically had this weird year-ish where I just didn't ride very much. It's kind of right before I started vlogging, and then I remember like I bought an AK and was like, I'm gonna get into guns, and then I realized anything beyond a cheap AK costs a whole lot of money, and I bought a few little things. But what's up, man?
What's up, Danger Damien? What's happening, dude?
I hear you. You hear me? When you tapped on your headphones, we heard that. Say something. It's like there's technical difficulties, but I think he's fucking with us.
Yeah.
G says, do you see Ronnie Mac's video for Straight Rhythm he put out, where he
Fucking
traveled back in time or traveled to the future, and they had
I watched
the.
it like 4 fucking times, dude.
I thought it was funny because we were just talking about the red shifts and all the electric bikes, and it was like awesome that his son was on like or his son, you know.
That was so fucking amazing, dude.
That's cool too. That like Redshift is like cool enough to like.
Yeah.
They're like, here, use our bike. We know you're gonna make fun of it because it's not a 2-stroke, but like, you know.
Yeah, it's like they don't own those bikes. Like they had to have.
I guarantee you, Redshift right now, from my impression from them is they're just kind of like, I don't care, whatever. Go beat on this thing, have fun with it. I think they trust the product enough to know that people are gonna just have fun with it and like it.
Although I'll tell you, even just watching him thrash the Redshift versus the 250, and maybe it was just because he was uncomfortable on it, but I was just like, man, just seeing that thing in the air, it just looks so much heavier than a regular dirt bike.
I don't think it is though. I think they've got the weight down on them pretty good. Yeah. I think so. I doubt. I don't know. Is it as light as a two-stroke? I don't know. 2-strokes don't weigh shit.
My KTM weighs like 230 pounds, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. My WR is like 255, 260.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get 4-stroke motor with electrics on there. You got electrics on yours, don't you?
It's got electric start.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But that shows you that's the difference. You still have a battery and electric starter, but there's that much weight difference between our bikes. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight there. That's like a DRZ to a WR450.
Yeah. I think that sometimes I fool myself. I'm just like, man, it's what, like 30 pounds? Like, what is the difference does it make? Until you get on a bike that's 30 pounds heavier off road, and you're just like, yeah, there's a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I always tell people how funny it was. Just as it kind of opened up your eyes to it. Being out riding at Red River one time with all these trails we have. It's a big park out here. And when you got to the tight technical trails, and everyone was on their 450s, and I was on a CRF 150R because I got a flat on my WR, so I was riding someone that had an extra one. They let me borrow it. That's
the fast one, right?
That's like the competition 150. Yeah. That's like, it's still a 4-stroke 150, but it's a water cooled one.
Yeah.
And once we were on the open trail, yeah, sure, they were faster. I mean, when we hit the woods on the tight technical stuff, and I'm not that skilled of a rider, but I was the fastest guy there that day. It's like, bye everyone. I was just fucking leaving them. And it was hilarious because I think that thing weighs like 190 something pounds. It's hilariously light.
That's stupid, man. We'll get on Jessica's KX100. It's like riding a trials bike. It weighs 170 pounds.
Yes, exactly. That's fun, dude.
And it makes like 27 horsepower.
This guy says the Redshift is still a bit heavier than a 450. So maybe like, is it like a WR then or something? 450? Maybe like electric. I'm probably gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm sure it weighs like 260 or something like that, or 270.
Google that shit.
I am.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just now you started.
Thank
Caleb,
you.
Take it easy, bud.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
267 pounds. Okay.
267.
267. So it's a little heavy. It's like I said. It's like a WR. It's exactly. It's like WR 450 heavy. Okay.
But it's light.
It's like a DRZ's like 310, 315.
Yeah. Which feels like you're riding around a fucking Harley Davidson when you get it.
It really does.
Have you ever seen somebody like thrashing it off road on a DRZ 400? That motherfucker's good,
dude. So my brother, I want to get my brother on a real dirt bike. He's only ever had his first bike. He's still on it, which is a DRZ 400 Supermoto, right? And he, right after buying it, was constantly going out riding out in the sand and the dunes and shit with it. Like not the mega dunes, but definitely out like in the sand and shit, right? Like big fucking. I mean, there are some dunes out there for sure. They would accidentally cross into Mexico and not realize it, you know. And the first few months he was doing that, he was doing it on Supermoto trim, and I was like, I don't even know how you make that bike as heavy as it is with those tires go in the sand like that. He's like, just gotta go as fast as you can the whole time.
Yeah.
Then he bought a set of knobbies for it, and he was like, it was cool because then I could really hang with everybody on their 450s and their 2-strokes. I'm like, if you're doing that, you're hindering yourself. It's like walking around with like a bunch of fucking weights on you and wearing like fucking high heels. You have no.
You're gonna get on a 252 stroke and just like dominate everything.
I wonder, but he hasn't. he hasn't really ridden much since he's been from his last deployment, so it's been like 8-9 months. He's knows now, but I said, we got to get you on a real dirt bike and see what you can do because.
Diorman Roby, I don't know how the fuck to say your name, but I just want to say what's up to you, dude. I see you all the time leaving comments and showing love there in the side chat. Fucking big ups, man. I appreciate you.
Talking to me?
Diorman Robbie there in the side chat. I was going to say to you, you got about the cleanest garage I've ever fucking seen, man.
Well, thank you. I work on that, man. Got to get that. I got to win some battles.
You're wearing sunglasses indoor. I might do the
Right.
same thing. It looks kind of cool. I'm kind of jealous. Got some sitting right here.
This is my big face reveal right here. Nobody's ever seen what I look like.
Well,
dude, not a whole lot of people watch these, so only like a couple hundred people will ever fucking see what it looks like. Don't fucking sweat it.
That's like a couple hundred. That's like 275 more than have ever seen any of my videos. So it should be good. Should be good. But
I know you've been by the bar, but I didn't see your face either, man. Because I'm sorry I wasn't there when you showed up to the pub, man.
Yeah, you're always broken up, man. I went in there to like, oh no, his foot's like up his ass in 10 pieces.
Wow. Came in when I was laid up. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Another time I stopped in, I think you guys were having some issues with Jess's mom, so that one's all right. I assume she's doing better.
No. I don't. She passed away.
She did.
Yeah. It's okay. It was expected. Kind of going towards that. So it's not in pain anymore. Not in pain anymore. So it's a good thing,
Yeah, I know how it goes, man.
Yeah.
My mom's been in surgery in the ER for like the last 3 days straight. Not very healthy, and it's kind of those things. It's a matter of time.
What I always say is, and I'm not a religious man, but just because that's how the saying goes, I go, there by the grace of God goes I. It'll happen to all of us one day. We just hope that we're cool enough that there's someone around to wipe our ass when we get old, huh?
That's right. I'd rather not be there. I'd be like, hey, check me out now. Early checkout for me.
Don't be a dick to your kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
My parents sucked. So
it's the truth, man. I tell my kids too, honestly. They think I'm crazy. My wife's like, stop saying that to them. I'm like, well, they got me. Once I'm gone, I'm gone.
Yeah. I mean,
I go all the way.
They're fucking assholes, so they can fucking suck it, man. Hospice can wipe their ass.
I get out there today to go film something, and you realize, like, oh yeah, no SD card. That's right. At least it was just a big camera. Like, I just used my phone at that point. I was like, can't be fucking bothered.
No, I'm fucking so all about using my phone all the time. I've got the nice. I think I've got the same camera, the Sony RX100 or whatever it is.
This is a Lumix LX10. This is one that Lee made me get. I was about to buy, I think, like an RX whatever, and he's like,
oh yeah.
He fucking went hard on me to get that.
No, you fucking put it. That's a motherfucking investment right there, man.
It was cool, man. I was looking at the video. Some people put up some videos from that new Sony. That's gonna be a cool camera. It's a little pricey. Not everyone's gonna want to swing an extra $200. GoPros are already pretty pricey, but $600. That Sony camera is basically the equivalent of like a little RX, whatever. It's like a point and shoot, but it's an action camera.
No,
So
that's cool, man. I can't see myself moving off the Hero 4. That's so my.
Oh yeah, rock those as long as you can. Just don't. Yeah. I would still be on them if somebody didn't decide to wreck into me and fucking destroy them.
I bought a couple of them off of Amazon just to have backups.
I was so worried about buying. I could only ever find when I was looking for them as refurbished ones, and I was kind of thinking about it as is. I usually get 1.5 years life out of a GoPro when they're brand new, and they just seem to just shit themselves out. And I was like, I'm not buying a refurbished one. I'm not spending money on one. So it's,
dude, the very first GoPro I ever bought 4 years ago still fucking works like a champ.
Well, you know me. I've got the worst luck with electronics, man.
The worst luck with electronics anybody ever.
You would think I'm like an asshole and like knock shit over and just don't care. But I'm really careful with everything. It's funny when like someone like Dan comes over and he's just like so what the fuck ever with his shit and it's like falling over and banging it around and You know, like sitting it in the dash of his truck and camera's like 600 degrees. And he's like, oh, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like, and his shit will never fucking break. But I'm over here like dusting things. Like I literally keep some of my electronics like in one of the like little Tupperware fucking things or whatever I keep it in. Has a bunch of those packets in the bottom of it, the silicone
Storage
packs.
The desiccant packets.
Yeah, the silicone packs. I'm like, gotta keep them dry. Gotta keep the moisture off. They still fucking break on me.
Let me ask you a question in regard to that last time he came to visit you, man, and he flew. He seemed like he was shitting his pants. Like I thought for like the first, he was like, he seemed like he was really scared, you know, like he's screaming and laughing or whatever. But I was like, man,
yeah. Yeah, he was. Well, what it was is he came out here so determined. Like he came out here like, one, he wanted help finishing putting his paramotor together. But I mean, we could have done that over a Skype call or whatever, you know. That wouldn't have been a big deal. He just needed to know a couple ways on the harness how to route stuff. That's fine. But he really had just been so long since he flown. He wanted to hang out anyway, but it had been so long. He wanted to come down here and like have me talk him through it, which I was funny to me because I'm like, what kind of fucking expert do you think I am? I'm doing this stuff to you.
After I saw you do it, I told my buddies we can all do it now. Jake did it.
You can. Yeah, anybody can do it.
Hey, Jake did it, man. Now we're fuck. He built a supermoto. I built a supermoto.
Yeah.
YouTube's I YouTube. If you can do it, any one of us could do it.
They told me when we went up there, they said the average guy that gets into it's 55 years old. And that's always been like my big like if I'm ever getting nervous, I'm like, old guys do this shit. Fuck it. Like we're good.
Just real quick on the side chat, just Sped Kid Biggie is always fucking showing love, man. Good dude. I know people are talking shit about the side chat. I've always found the Yamaha V-Star 650 to be an excellent bike. I've had a bunch of friends with them. They beat the ever living shit of those bikes, and they keep on fucking rolling. I think they're awesome.
People customize the hell out of those too, man.
Yeah, they got almost as they got like approaching Harley status.
Yeah, like you get one of those. It's a good blank platform if you just want to build something stupid with it.
And then again, the whole thing with that too is that since there's so much aftermarket support, like when problems do come up with them, there's a big community around them, which is important. You know, you got an old bike, you don't have a lot of money, you want to fix it. V-Star 650, there's like a bunch of different forums where you can go on there, and the problems are so common that there's going to be somebody on there that's going to go like, I know exactly what's up with your bike. Here's what you do.
Yep, no doubt.
So I think V-Star 650, goodbye, I think, in my opinion.
My next bike's going to
1976, man. We'll see you. Words. Love you, brother.
Words. Did you see?
That dude comments every single. I've talked to him in private before, but every single. I thought he was fucking with me at first. Forever, he's just like every single video, he just comments words. And I always just was like, whatever. I don't know. The dude's just like, I thought he was making fun of me because I was like talking too much or something. And then eventually I talked to him online. He's like, oh yeah, it's just I don't really know what to say. So
just put words.
But he goes, I want to leave a comment because I know it helps like the analytics. You know, for there to be a comment, so I just write words. I'm like, this is fucking dope, man. Thanks, dude.
Dude, honestly, for me, I like treat you guys like you're celebrities. Like I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe it. I can't believe.
Oh, we're pretty stupid.
Jake the Garden Snake, he liked one of my Instagram part because it's all I watch. I don't watch normal television.
Yeah,
might as well be
television.
freaking.
Garden Snake like he's a giant faggot because he is.
It might as well be freaking. What's her name from Game of Thrones? That hot blonde chick knocking on my door. I'm like, if I saw the two, you walk out the door and say, "Let's go." I'm going with the moto vloggers.
She's banging her cousin or her nephew.
God, Game of Thrones.
Her nephew, yeah.
Yeah, did you figure that out at the end there? Holy shit.
That didn't stop him.
Nah, well, they don't know yet, but I know. Oh well.
Is it really incest if you don't know?
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember Joe Dirt? He's like, you're my sister. You're my sister. when it turned him off when he found out it wasn't like. Oh man, what a great movie! I think there's movies like that there's so much like subtle genius to them. That, like they just never appreciate it, right? Like the brilliance of that movie. I fucking love it.
It just
Dude,
changes
I didn't even.
as time goes on. There's those movies you watch when you're a kid, and then you watch them when you're a teenager, and then you watch them in your 20s, and you watch them in your 30s, and you're just like, this movie has meant different things to me in so many different parts.
I get, yeah, like I get you get older, and like I feel like movies that were like older movies, I like them more. You know what I'm saying? It's like my likes start almost moving to like stuff that was further back. Like fuck, I was watching something from Blazing Saddles the other day, some best clips of it, and I was like, God, I fucking forgot how ridiculous this movie was.
Yeah.
That's like on a next level fucking
And
shit.
how you could never get away with that shit now.
Well, yeah, there was something where they were talking about that too. I saw something they were talking about how you couldn't get away with that. And they're like, the funniest thing is it makes fun of racism the whole time. But nowadays, nobody would be able to see past how absurd it is. They'd get tunnel vision to be like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Max Booze, $10 Australian, man. Fucking love you, brother.
Did you have something? People keep talking about a bug. Do I need to look on Instagram about a bug with you?
The spider thing.
What happened?
You didn't see that? It was a spider fucking crawled into my face while I was like going like 30 miles an hour.
Dude.
A big fucker. Go on my Instagram, watch the video.
Oh, dude, I saw it. Was that I would have like fell off my motorcycle if that thing was. What did you do? I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch it. Scaring me.
Fucking crazy, dude.
Oh.
You stop it, rip it off, or what?
Max Booze, by the way, go follow that motherfucker on Instagram, man. Max Booze has always cracked me up, dude. That guy's used to make moto vlogs back in the day.
Oh, dude.
I love watching his moto vlogs.
It's just hanging on your visor.
Yeah.
That kind of spider like that fucker bites you.
Nah, those don't bite. That's like a big old garden spider. Too many.
Yeah. You did the exact thing I was waiting for you to do. I was like, please hit it. Please hit it away.
No, they're harmless. But that doesn't make it any less terrifying.
They're big and harmless.
We've been getting these ones like crazy at our house. These big fucking like gray things with these fat butts on them, big old nasty legs, and they've
hair on them.
A little bit of hair. They're making these mega webs. I have no idea if they're poisonous or not. All I know is I bash them to death every time I see one. Mainly just because it freaks my wife and my little girl out.
People are like, well, spiders eat other bugs. I'm like, I can kill other bugs myself.
Right. You know, we have a bunch of too. We have a bunch of Mediterranean house geckos. Those are those little sandpaper looking fuckers, you know, the little guys that are like tan colored.
The ones you can see inside it, they're see through a little bit.
Sometimes you can see through them a little bit, yeah. And their tails fall off if you grab them too aggressively. But
you don't have? Do you have regular lizards up there?
We do, but those Mediterranean house geckos like dominate. They're everywhere, but they're like so chill. It's like, oh my god, a spider, a bug, anything, you freak out. You see one of those geckos, you immediately like, I kind of want to catch it. Like it just, they're totally cool. Hanging out on your fingers.
Max Booze, dude, download that Monster Squad. I did a video about Monster Squad the other day. Fucking love that movie, man. Wolfman's got nards.
Jesus.
We're always trying to
find. I was out flying around, see what I saw.
That falling over?
It's a hot air balloon.
Yeah, was it going sideways though?
No, I'm just flying under it.
Oh,
people dying in those things all the time.
I came up and like,
falling over. How are they not falling out of it?
I came up and like went around them, and it was kind of cool. Like, and then I let off the throttle. It just goes to idle. You know, it's not that loud. An air balloon doesn't make any noise. You know, and I was just like, "How y'all doing?" And they're like, "What's going on?"
Dude, I'm getting one of those parasailers. I'm looking. I've already been shopping on Craigslist trying to find one.
You don't get a Craigslist one.
I'm getting a used one.
I have been told
blown motor.
This is something I do hear if you seriously are looking. I hear this from like everyone who's been doing it for more than 5 minutes. They say they said if you get a used pair, like the motor and everything, that's fine. But they said if you get a used one, make sure you get a new glider. Like if that's going to be your thing, like I'm gonna like don't get a used glider and a new motor. Make sure that the glider's new because the technology has advanced massively in the last few years. Like literally in the last year or two.
As far as like the handling
they're safer. They're so much safer than they ever were before. They're better to fly.
And when you say glider, you mean like the parachute?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
lack of better
That's
words.
that's
Yeah,
the
okay.
aircraft, if you will.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the part
I
that's
got
actually more important. I know you think the motor and all that it's more complicated, but the glider's the important part. That's the part that it's gonna
I don't know. Yeah,
make
I
it
don't know
fly.
anything about the glider part, but I could figure out the motor. What I saw you do in today's video was pretty cut and dry, putting that thing back together.
Yeah, they're super simple.
Yeah. Although I don't know why you didn't just paint the whole thing rather than
I
just.
thought about that afterwards. I thought about because well, here's the thing: if I had painted the whole thing, I thought about that. I was gonna paint the whole frame, and then I was gonna lightly wet sand it so it was all smooth and glossy to the touch. Because right now it's like if you actually feel it's got that little bit of spray paint rough feel to it. I don't really care
Little
though.
texture on there.
Yeah, dude, I'll be like not to brag, but I can definitely rattle can, and if you combine rattle canning with some wet sanding, I can pretty much come up with an auto finish, and I've done it.
Not hard, but you also had the opportunity to do some cool color. You know what I mean? Like
Nah.
lime green.
I just wanted to go fly the damn thing. I wanted to get back up in the air.
I'm gonna go ahead. Das Scooter asks when I'm getting on the paramotor train, and that answer is never. I am deathly afraid of heights.
But I don't like to fly either. I don't like to fly, but I feel like that after watching that other dude that went through the hay bales, like when he was going to McDonald's. I watched that video. What's his name?
Tucker got.
Yeah, so I watched Tucker's video right after you sent me there. I see him, and he's just down low. Like he likes to just lay low, and he's coming in. He's like, "Ooh, hay bale, hay bale, hay bale, hay bale." He just doing the slalom. He's ripping through them, and then he gets up a little higher. He's totally in control. Like you're not gonna like crash and fall to your death.
He's got he flies really like much more agile.
I gotta make myself really
gliders. He's got like the glider I fly. It's like a very beginner glider. You can definitely cut pretty fast with it, but not like the way he does. His is almost it's so direct what he does. Or for me, it's a little more mushy.
Yeah, I got you. It's a little bit looser and moldy.
Yeah, but you get that's the trade off for it's very safe. It's
right.
An incredibly safe one. It's good.
And probably a lot less expensive.
That price of those things, I think, are all around the same. At the end of the day, it's the same kind of material. I think there's more material in a beginner one because they're bigger.
Well, and then the other question I had is like, so you went for like a class, like an instruction class over the weekend or something?
I was like a week, yeah.
Oh, so it was like, do you camp there or did you go home at night? What was the deal with that? What was that
experience? We rented an RV from a guy out there who was he used to be a former instructor, so it's like if you can only rent it like if you're going to that school there, like that's how you get in contact with the guy.
But anybody could rent an RV and head out there.
Yeah, a lot of people did that. A lot of the people that came lived somewhere where they could like drive out there to the place. We flew in, so it really wasn't the same option. But if you just drove out there, people just what?
Where was it? Down in Georgia?
No, I was in California.
Oh, okay.
So what we did, what they will do is they'll just literally like go, like people will just bring their car, their truck, whatever, and just bring camping equipment. You can camp there at the training grounds. They don't care. They'll let you camp there.
Camp?
Yeah, just camp. I mean, you're going to like crapping in a porta potty and having to go somewhere to take a shower. So
that's fine.
I've never flown planes, Max. Flown in them. Never flown them. So, but yeah, then there was one or two people. Yeah, they rented like an RV and just took the RV out there. Like you got to get one with a little generator and whatnot so you can get your power. But we just we stayed at that guy's in town, his RV that was like at his house. Like that wasn't like a move. Like that was like basically set one there. Hooked. It was all piped in and everything. And then we ended up staying in a hotel the last few days we were there because they had someone else booked at the RV. Man, it was cool today though. What I did is I not only did I go and play with a balloon, but there's a park right next to the field I was going to go fly at. Like I fly out of, and right before I was leaving, my wife and my little girl and my nieces were like, "Hey, we're going to go out to the park." I was like, "Are you going to that park?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, y'all haven't like y'all seen me fly from a distance," but I was like, I want to fly around. So like they got to see me. It's cool. I actually like flew over them a couple times and like let off the engine, was yelling at them.
Were they like waving back?
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. That was fun to do. When I got home, she's like, "Daddy, you were flying." I was flying.
You're amazing. Fun. You're the dad of the year now.
She probably thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, she thinks it's just normal, Jake. She doesn't think it's the coolest thing ever. She's just like, yeah, people fly, no biggie.
She's gonna go to school and people are gonna be like my daddy, something sounds like, well, my dad flies.
I swear to the moon.
You'd be like, yeah, right, dumbass.
he's an astronaut, my daddy.
As well, as far as she knows.
Yeah.
Millions of people watch his videos.
I wish. That'd be helpful.
Yeah. If millions of people were watching him right now, I think you'd be doing all right.
When I first started moto vlogging, but even before that, before I bought my current generation, my post-marriage motorcycle, we'll call it, anything that happened before that marriage was all gone by the time I got to that marriage. One of my buddies, a couple years older, getting like this midlife crisis thing. He says, I want to go out and get a Yamaha Bolt. I'm like, that's a cool bike, man. I said, but if I'm going to go buy a bike, it's going to be a supermoto, because I race motocross and all that through the time. So he's convincing me, he brings home his Bolt, take it for a ride. I rode it out around the neighborhood. I was like, man, this thing is cool, but I'm going to get the supermoto. But he's like, well, we want to go on these really long rides, like out to the beach, like 175 miles up or something. I'm like, I can't do that on a supermoto. So I started looking around and I found a brand new Ducati Hypermoto. And once I had that bike, I could do whatever they wanted to do, plus everything else I wanted to do on a supermoto. So it was perfect.
Yeah, the Hypermoto is like an interesting compromise there. I wouldn't call it a full supermoto just because I don't know. I watch Fire Guy do stuff with his, but he's kind of a lunatic. I mean, I've watched him jump his motard, his Hypermoto. I've watched him off-road it. One of the times we're off-roading, and because he's got like last of the breed. Like if you're gonna have a Ducati for the cool factors, his is single-sided swing arm with open belt, dry clutch, air cooled. It's like all the stuff they fucking went away with in the next few years, and he's got like the end of the breed stuff. Yeah, like it's just cool, even if it's like sucked at everything. But anyway, we're off-roading, we're going through like this field, and he keeps hanging his foot out front in front of the motor slightly. And I had to ask him, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to keep grass from getting stuck in the dry clutch, because he has this big open
right.
I was like, and I remember just dying. I was like, that is the gnarliest thing I've ever fucking heard. Like
it's like a weed whacker.
Like I'm riding through the same field.
I was saying this earlier, Jake. I would not own any other Ducati besides the one I have. Yeah. Literally nothing else they make interests me in this.
What's the one like I remember I was all fangirled out about the Scrambler. And then I kind of laid off of it, and then they came out with a version.
The Desert Sled.
Is that the one, the Desert Sled? I think that sounds right.
They have like 4 versions now.
Yeah,
the Desert Sled's got actual. I think it's got like 9 inches of suspension travel.
Yeah, it's got knobby tires on it.
Well, knobby, you can put knobby tires on a fucking.
It's the Desert Sled for sure. Yeah, because when I saw the suspension and the ride height,
green.
I fucking hate that when people will go like, well, I can go off road now, put knobby tires on my bike, and I'm just like,
you don't have the suspension.
Yeah, but then you give up your skid plate.
Well, how many people, like, you'll see those videos where someone will put knobbies on an R1 and everyone's like, it's the sickest dirt bike ever. And the guy's just ripping it in a big open field that doesn't have any bumps.
There's a Ducati video out there. It's gray. Everybody's seen it.
Yeah, I know.
Rides it through the desert, through the flats. Doesn't do anything with it. There was a guy that had a 3-cylinder Triumph. I can't remember his name. He just abruptly quit. Just completely quit doing YouTube. The hell was his name? He was out in California. Man, I wish I could remember his name. He was on a Triumph. And man, he would do anything. He was off on all the trails. More than the time than not, he was on the trails.
He didn't have a 3-cylinder. That was Bad Bonneville. He had
a Bad Bonneville. Bam, you got it.
It's a Bonneville.
Yeah, what was it? Bonneville is a what, inline or a V-twin?
Yeah, and the Bonneville is the same exact bike as the Scrambler. Like, they're not any different. They're the same fucking motorcycle.
I'm trying to find this one right here. It's the one that guy. I just remember Moto Geo guy testing it I'm finding some pictures of it here. If you look up like Harley Davidson dirt bike Moto Geo, one of the first 2 photos that come up are it. But that was where someone converted one. They took a Harley and turned it into a dual sport, but they really did it. Like they didn't just, you know,
like travel suspension.
Yeah, it's got like the swing arm and the front forks and everything. And he was talking about it. He goes, yeah, it's a bit heavy, but he was talking about riding around because all the weight's still really low in it, you know, in the motor. He's like, it's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, like you could compare it to like a KLR 650.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but it sounds way cooler because it's got a Harley motor. Yeah, just you know, he's putting around like he's beating on it.
That's one thing.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I should look at the side chat, eh?
I'll tell you that Ducati will never see the first speck of dirt.
Oh, come on, man.
No, not a fucking chance. I am not a rich man, and I paid for me a shit ton of money.
Believe me. No poor man deserves.
I can't wait to rip that thing off road. I'm like, motherfucker, you think I'm gonna chance in a million years fucking this thing up?
I felt the same way when I bought my Ducati, right? But then it itches you, and you take it off road, and you bring it back to the dealer, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
I don't need to. I've got a 2-stroke fucking KTM 300.
Well, there you go. You have that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
They said $2,300. We're gonna fix it for you. I'm like, I can't afford that. Then they said, you can't afford to buy the bike you bought. Simple as that. Next.
That's why I bought it, Mike. And
next guy does. The guy behind you, he's got all the money.
Oh, good for guys with all the money, man.
Honestly, don't feel bad, but that's why I sold my Ducati.
What's the Kimco? What is this? The Kimco? I gotta look this up.
I bought a Yamaha instead because I know it would be roadworthy, dependable, and last me forever.
Well, that sounds boring.
That's why I bought the Multistrada. They've got I had a couple people go like, man, they fucking break down all the time. Like the 14s and up have the best track record of any Ducati that's ever been fucking made, and get people going on about the service intervals. The service intervals call for an oil change every 7,500 miles.
No, that actually goes down to 18,000 miles on one of the intervals, the major one.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. They're dependable, right? And very little things go wrong, but when one small thing does go wrong, one small thing is a very expensive repair. I had mine, I put 10,000 miles on it, and I did probably about $3,000 worth of repairs myself of things that the Ducati dealership told me was no good, and then gave me the price for them to say, okay, for an additional $6,500, we'll do all that. Instead, I came home, I got on the internet, ordered the parts, and did it myself.
All right. Well, I mean, I also got a 5-year warranty, so I ain't fucking.
Well, that's good.
This Kimco Spade thing is pretty cool, man. That's smart. It's like a Grom competitor, but it's kind of got like a retro look to it. And of course, being it's a Kimco, it's like it's coming in a bit cheaper. And
can you?
I just
Can you share a picture?
Let me try to put this in another tab here.
Motorcycle.com has a breakdown, a shootout with that Kimco, Kawasaki, the Honda Grom, and one other offshore brand.
Photogrammers going pump them. Oh wow, that's a really good.
Yeah. Yeah, especially I mean, you pull that little fender off the back, and
that is really fucking cool looking, man.
I think with a scrambler style exhaust running down the side.
Do you guys know Dodge Rider? You ever hear of him?
Yeah.
Apparently he talks shit about me all the time, but I don't know. I don't ever go.
Right, he does. I have heard about that. He fucking hates you.
Well, it's funny because I always get told that he's talking shit about me, and people are like, "Here's the video," and I'm just like, "I'm not going to click on it." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, what, you just don't want to hear it? I'm like, "No, I just don't even want to give him a fuck." I want him to know one day. I hope he finds out one day. Maybe he dies or some afterlife. Like Jake never watched those videos of you talking shit.
Listen, the guy
I just hope like somehow he's made it.
I talked all that shit and he never saw it.
Like because I just want you to know how little fucks I could give. I didn't even go over there, guy. I didn't even go over there to see. I'm like, whatever.
I honestly don't think he has a problem with you. He likes to make videos where he'll say, "Here's the top 5 moto vloggers that are full of shit." and he'll go through and name like even his best friend, his best.
Well, he's just doing it for fucking clickbait.
For views. Yeah. Just to get some people to watch his videos because
I think that was all going on. Oh, look at this little cafe style one.
This looks really fucking cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, those look dope as fuck.
So
is that actually is Kimco's presenting this like a Kimco badge on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Check out the motorcycle.com shootout.
Well, look, I mean, they made some kind of different logo here for it, but it says Kimco.
Right. But maybe they're
not putting the big K on there. That's a little bit dorky looking.
Jake, I guarantee if they just made that bike as like a 500cc twin or something, and just made that exact same bike, but just as a regular size bike.
Oh, it would go nuts, dude.
They'd sell a fucking million of them.
It's interesting too is for this would be interesting for the stunt crowd. I know like it's going to sound lame to say that it's got a drum brake on the rear, but do you know how easy it is to convert a drum brake into a handbrake that's still drum brake? Like it's literally fucking like it's nothing. It's a few bucks. You can turn this into a handbrake.
I'm going to get some beers. Who needs one?
Yeah, I need one. Yeah, dude, that's a neat looking bike. But anyway, I said I don't know. I think that guy though, when he was, was it Dodger? I think he was doing that.
Yeah, Dodge Rider. So he rides one of these now.
Does he really?
Yeah, he had a KTM Super Duke that he sold, and then he went and bought an old school SV1000, like from the early 1980s. And he's like selling all of his really nice stuff, and he's trying to build like a 200-mile-an-hour Grom. And like,
well, good luck.
Yeah, it's going rough. But he's a good dude. He lives in Raleigh. One day I was ripping around town, and he works at the motorcycle dealership over there. So I rolled in, and he's like, "Oh, I know you. You're Danger Damien." I'm like, he's got like 20,000 subscribers. I've got like 200. And I'm like, "Wow, you know me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, you're the only one that rides around on this Ducati, and you got the camera hanging off your helmet and all that." And he's like, "How's your vlogging going?" And I'm like, fucking hate vlogging. I hate video editing. You know, it sucks. I can't ever, I work hours and hours, and I only end up with shit that I don't like. So he's like, "Well, then why don't you just quit doing it?" So I was like, you know, that's a good idea. So I quit. And then I had the Hyper Motard, the Ducati, and I was like, I got to sell this fucking thing. So I called him up, and I was like, "Hey, David," his name is David. "Hey, dude, you want to sell this bike for me?" And he's like, "Oh, man," he's like, "I got a little bit of conflict of interest. I'm trying to sell my KTM. So just put on Craigslist, send me a link." Did that, never heard from him. Then the Ducati sold. Some guy from Virginia came, picked it up, and took it. And then like literally I took the ad down, and probably 15 minutes later, I got a text message from him saying, "Hey, I got a sweet bike signed up for you. You know, I'm going to put you in a brand new XSR, is how I pronounce it, XSR 900, that Yamaha Indy bike."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, how much?" And he's like, "Well, you know, after taxes and come in and finance fees." And I was like, "Oh," I said, "I just sold the Hyper. I owned it. I don't want to get into financing stuff. I need like a cash price for whatever I get." And I'm not opposed to buying like a used bike, you know, because I'd rather have something that's used that somebody rode for like $2,000, and then I could do all my shit to it and pay them like $5 or $6 grand. So he's like, "Let me see what you can find." And then like 2 days later, I found it myself, and I hadn't heard from him.
Shout outs to Photogrammer. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. Just I want to get this out here real quick. Photogrammer is literally waiting on his baby to be born right now. I don't know if you guys watch him, but he's a good dude, local guy here in Tampa with me. And I had actually sent him a link for the hangout, and he just texted me back and said he's in the hospital bed with his wife. Sorry if I'm oversharing there, but go check out his channel. Really good dude, man. Comes by the bar.
What's it coming? Boy, girl?
I don't know. Didn't ask. I actually don't like babies or children, so. I like him. I like Photogrammer. He's a good.
Dan told me that the whole time before, like, because he stayed with me before, but we were so busy. It was during the big meetup. So when he came down this last time to fly the paramotor and stuff, again, he's always telling me all this stuff. He's like, "Yeah, I don't fucking like kids. I don't give a shit about your kid, Jake." And I know he kind of just says it because he's trying to be funny and savage, but I definitely got the impression he just didn't want anything to do with her. and she would just jump on him and play on him so much. And by the end, he was like fucking. It was just funny. He's like, you know what? I take it back. Your kid's cool.
Gave your kid a pass.
Oh, dude, he was playing with her more than I do. He was running around with her, and she would chase him, and she would jump on him, and they would laugh. She's hugging him and giving him kisses when she's going to bed. She's like, "Night, Dan."
Oh God.
Jake, do you ever get over to his place to hang out?
I haven't. No, I need to, but it's just fuck. It's always easier because I'm the one with the family. It's easier for him to come out here, but
Sand Spider, I talk to Ninja Nero literally almost every day. Is one I consider him a very close friend.
you guys go off in the chat. I'm always so behind in it. I never know what's going on in there.
You jump in, man. I was just saying, like, I fucking.
Did you see that shit? I put it up. I swear, like nobody saw it. Did you see? Like there was a helicopter just buzzing over the
I
house.
asked you about it. I was like, what the fuck was going on with that? You never.
Oh, you know what it was? It was because then Lee had that crazy story right after where that chick's head was all ripped open. Kind of, we lost sight.
No, I was asking. I was like, what the fuck was up with the helicopter?
Apparently, a motorcycle was in some kind of hit and run right around the corner.
I was like, did the motorcycle hit somebody? Or
No, someone hit. Apparently, somebody hit the motorcycle. This is like I'm hearing this from. I have no idea how much truth is into it. I know some people I could ask. I could find out. I know people that work in like the law enforcement around here. They could tell me, but apparently they hit the bike, then bailed, and like I'm guessing they must have like known they were somewhere in that area, like in my neighborhood, because the helicopter was just going around and around. And dude, the thing was only like 200 feet up coming over my house. I mean, you don't feel like wind blasts at that height, but it shakes the fucking house when they come over. And and my biggest concern was I was like gonna wake my fucking child up. You know, I was getting pissed because it was like every time they come over, the fucking windows would go. And then I was looking on the local Facebook page for the neighborhood, and someone was saying that. Do you have one of those for your neighborhood?
Look,
Look it up. I bet you it exists. It's actually
I'm afraid they're just gonna be like bitching about me coming home on motorcycles at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sure, a little bit, but I mean, there's been people bitched about me. I don't care. Nah, dude. It's first of all, it's hilarious just for some of the drama in the neighborhood. Like some of the people that live right down the corner from me, that like both have these super prestigious, nice houses and have these really nice lawns, and they're right beside each other. You think they'd be like good buds, like they would always bounce back and forth for getting what's like lawn of the month, which is some dumb shit the HOA around here does. They fucking hate each other. It's hilarious. The police have been called over there so many times, and they get all fucking the guy will get all drunk and fucky. I was like a month or something ago, I hear on the computer and like I just hear him yelling, "Get the fuck out of my house!" Like, what's going on? And he's pacing up and down the street. And first I didn't realize who it was, but they kept getting real close to the house. And I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I kind of went out there, was like, all right, what's happening out here? And then I realized who it was. It was that guy. He's in his underwear, just marching up and down the fucking sidewalk, and he's screaming at somebody in his house. The police were out there. But no, yeah, the local Facebook group is cool for. I found somebody a while back. I found someone's dog just running around, fucking just like, oh, here's someone's dog. I just grabbed it, took my phone, took a picture, and was like onto that Facebook group. I was like, whose is it? And this lady goes, I think that's mine. And then she said it was hers, and she said it had been missing. And she goes, okay, I'll be there in just a little bit. Like, dude, literally like 45 minutes went by, and she lived around the corner before she came over to get her dog. She's like, oh my God, thank goodness she found him. I could tell she was like asleep. I was like, wait, so I had to ask her, I was like, so what's going on? She's like, tells me her dog got out earlier in the day, like it's like some hours ago, and she didn't know where it was. I was like, so when I messaged the group and you saw it was yours or whatever, you were asleep? She's like, yeah, I was taking a nap. I was like, you were taking a nap and your dog was just gone into the world? It's like, what's wrong with you? Who does that?
I'll be worried. I just had to take a nap right.
It's like, I just hope he'll be okay, but I need my naps, damn it. I need my strength so I can continue my quest for him. I almost didn't want to give her the dog at that point. I was like,
you don't deserve him. He's great. Why is he wagging his tail when he sees you? He's fucking, you're a garbage human.
My little girl, though, she saw him. She said he was gross. She said, he's gross. I said, why is he gross? It was a dachshund, a little dachshund. Thought he was gross. I don't know why.
Oh man.
So Shadetree, when, like I said, when I came down there, man, you had a broken foot, right? And I don't plan well. Like I just come down. I stay in Tampa, then I try to make it over there to Ybor City. Do I pronounce it correctly?
Inner city.
Ybor City.
Ybor. I don't know.
Ybor.
I was like inner city. I was like, yeah.
No. Ybor City.
Yeah, I recreated that in Minecraft. Ybor City.
Did you?
No, Ybor City, dude.
You stream it? Everyone's making YouTube is demonetizing us for making Minecraft channels now.
Man, I was watching someone's thing the other day. I know I'm just going offside here, but the guy recreated the Star Trek Enterprise D in Minecraft. And they did it was like, this video is like 10 years old. I don't know, just popped up like in my fucking, like my suggested shit because I'm a nerd and I look up stuff like this. And I click on it. I was all like, this is fucking whatever. Like, this isn't going to be that detailed. They're going through the ship and I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. They built a scale version of it. Like, and it's correct. Yeah. I don't even know how you do that in Minecraft. I've actually seen where somebody recreated it in general, just like created it where you could walk around through it. That's cool, but they were like
rendered it in a 3D program or something.
So yeah, but like that one too. There's a really insane detailed version of that, but for some reason I was more impressed by the Minecraft one. I was like, look at that, just with squares. How did they make? And it's so massive that when they're zoomed way out, it doesn't look like it's made out of squares. It looks fucking round. Yeah. It looks like he had to have some weird program on just so it would load up because he was so fucking. He tries to zoom out, and only half of it will be in frame, and the other half isn't loading until he goes over there. So he has to type something in the keyboard, do some fucking shit. It's like it shows the whole thing.
we have a neighbor.
Good question, man. I haven't watched the Orville or the new Star Trek yet.
Orville, I like the Orville.
I want to watch. I'm excited.
The new one.
Excited to watch the Orville. Because it kind of reminds me of Galaxy Quest.
It won't be as Galaxy Quest as you think it is, though. It's actually closer to 90s Star Trek. It's 90s Star Trek with a little bit of humor that doesn't ruin it. It doesn't break the fourth wall or the fifth wall.
I can dig that, man. You know that? Then that was kind of like Farscape was what fucking I love.
Yeah. I mean, Seth MacFarlane was talking about it on some interview, and he was basically saying he's like, I'm not, because I'm not trying to make a fast, witty, it's not going to be like Family Guy in space, of course. And he's not going to, just,
right.
It's not, is it breaking the fifth wall or fourth wall? What do you say?
Fourth wall.
Fourth wall, where Family Guy does that every 5 seconds. He's like, no, we're never going to do that in this show. And basically his point, it's
we're actually in space doing this.
It's a lot more serious show than you think it is. It's basically like 90s Star Trek.
That makes me even more excited about it then.
Well, he said that Star Trek and these other shows have taken a different route, and especially if you see, I watched 30 minutes of Discovery and I gave up. I was like, fuck, it's not me. If you're into it, it's cool. It's just not me, man. But yeah, they actually are what was I say? Yeah, he said it was just a big hole in science fiction like that was missing. So it's funny. There's some funny shit in it too.
I can get behind that. I'll buy it. That's my whole thing, man. Because I don't fucking.
Yeah, it ramped up quickly too. They've gotten better and better, like what I've seen from them. They're pretty good so far.
Man, that makes me really happy, dude. Because there's been I think we've actually talked about it a couple times. I know you're a big sci-fi fan. And there's been a hole. You're right. There's been a big hole missing from science fiction for fucking long.
Yeah, because science fiction is like we think it's if you're not super into, especially when you talk about Star Trek, from the outside, people just assume it's a nerdy show about space and science, but it's really not. It's about it's a show about people living in space. It's a show about the people. The people, it's important, and it's really cool about Star Trek.
It's like The Office.
It's like the issues of humanity that they deal with. I mean, that's what's crazy about it. That's what that's the shit. It's the stuff that makes you think. And I think it's episode 2 or 3. It's called About a Girl and the Orville. I was like, fuck, this is Star Trek. This is straight up reminds me of several episodes of Next Generation.
I can't get too excited about it. I'm waking up. I gotta wake up tomorrow fucking at the ride dirt bike, so I can't watch any TV shows after this.
Yeah, don't get it now. I started trying to watch. I
want to go smoke some weed and watch it right now.
I started watching Discovery, and they were like, I don't know. They're just changed so many things with it. It's more of like that J.J. Abrams style, which isn't bad for a movie. I can't do it for a show. I mean, for a movie, I kind of.
With the thinker, I was just about to go. Sorry, I just totally interrupted you, but Shadowboxer just got me because I was about to be like, it's not 4 walls or 4 lights, but I was like, oh, there are 4 walls, Jake.
There are 4 walls. Yeah.
That almost got by me. I was like, I was almost like, it's lights, man. Like,
Sometimes,
I was like,
sometimes,
fucking Shadowboxer with the fucking.
sometimes you'd be watching that shit. You're like, dude, Patrick Stewart is like so above everybody in this show and his level.
I wish he was my dad. I was like,
Is he in the show?
What, the new one?
Yeah.
Apparently he's gonna do something with it. I think he's gonna like be in an episode at some point. I don't know if it's actually been verified yet. But no, Seth MacFarlane and Patrick Stewart are like buds, because if you remember, Patrick Stewart plays the voice of the guy that's basically supposed to be Patrick Stewart on American Dad. Remember his boss at like the weird CIA he works for, whatever, the bald guy. He's like, oh no, that's Patrick Stewart literally doing he's being Patrick Stewart for him. Yeah.
I just want to be able to call him for advice. I just want to I'd be like, man, I fucking like my fucking bill's late and I got to do a fight with my girlfriend and like fucking this is happening. Like I wish I could just call Patrick Stewart.
Man, remember when I always remember that episode, Wesley, fucking Wesley's so annoying when he was in that like space cadet, whatever fucking it's called, Starfleet Academy. Yeah. And they fuck up, they kill one of their classmates by trying to do some maneuver, and Picard like has to call him, like he figures out what they did wrong. He's like, sit down, Wesley. And I was just like, oh my God. I can just feel like this is like you're getting to like your dad will never be able to do what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if we have time on here tonight, I'd like to do like a quick fire Q&A with each of you.
That sounds scary. I don't know. Yeah, Max, I actually know. Yeah, there's a lot of people. That's actually a funny thing. Max is saying, look at the Orville's wiki, and you'll see how many people are involved with Star Trek. They're involved with wiki. Involved with Orville. And if you actually look the other way, nobody from any previous Star Trek is really has anything to do with the Discovery. They say that's one of the big problems with it. It's just like they don't have anybody to check, not even just to check continuity, because that's always been a thing. Is you basically need super nerds for shows like this that are like, oh, now wait a minute, he can't have a blue scarf, he has to have a green scarf with 2 dots right here because in 1832, they just like know this crazy shit. You need that,
man. That's one of the reasons I think why Rick and Morty is such a good show.
I need to check that. I've literally never seen one episode.
What's it called? Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
And what's it's on?
And it's one of the reasons I really love it is just that their continuity is so on point. Like they'll do callbacks like to the first episode. It's really impressive. And that's a stupid thing to be impressed by, but
it's on YouTube?
Huh?
It's on YouTube?
No, I fucking downloaded off Apple TV, man. I'm a total Apple nerd. I do everything.
What channel does it come on though? I don't even know.
I think it's Comedy Central.
I don't know. I know I can like rip it wherever. Yeah, but
no, it's Adult Swim. It's Adult Swim. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I didn't watch it for the longest time. I was like, I'm not gonna like this show. It's
well, Dan gets like a whole like Rick and Morty sleeve, right? I remember he's like all excited, like shows me.
That's why I didn't want to watch it, because like all these motherfuckers are like fucking creaming their pants over. I'm like,
oh, a tattoo sleeve?
He got like a big tattoo of Rick and Morty, and he's showing it to me. Like he's showing it to me like I'm gonna be impressed with it. I mean, I love Dan, but I think I could just watch it melt off his face when I told him. I was like, I've never seen one episode of that, and he was just like, oh. He's like, dude, he's like this. He's like, check it out, dude. Check. Oh my God. I'm just like, I've never seen that, and he's just like, really?
You know, you should tell him, dude, I'll tune in.
I'll watch it for him. I'll
tune in for the tattoo removal episode.
That's the first thing I said. I was like, you're literally removing one regret
to put on another one.
Yeah. You put this massive, super like based on a show that's happening right now. a television show tattoo. I mean, I don't know if you
Max,
love it, you love it.
I'm not going all hipster on Rick and Morty. I just fucking admitted I didn't watch it till way after the fact. I was like, I thought it was stupid. I didn't know what people were fucking freaking out.
I need to check it out though. I mean,
I was totally late to the game. I watched the first almost the first 2 seasons were out by the time I watched it. Everyone was like, "This show's fucking great." Everybody's freaking out about it. I'm like, whatever, fucking stupid. I don't give a shit.
Do it with Dan's trying to do a live podcast stream right now.
Where?
On YouTube.
Let's just we can use our chat. How many people are in the chat right now?
Yeah.
90.
Okay, let's think of something. Don't go fucking nuts yet. But how can we fuck with his chat? Because we have enough people that we can go over there.
We could start trolling him.
We can't tell where we're coming from. What we have to say, hang on, don't anybody do shit yet. Don't do a fucking thing.
Let's think it out.
Dave's gonna do a little think. Here's the way we've gotten people before. It's just stupid little things. Tell them what the fuck is this fly doing in the background? And wait, what's it on? Is it on Twitch?
No, it's got it on YouTube.
I don't see shit.
Go to your subscriptions.
I don't see it.
I can't. Hold on. It's called "Do It with Dan" is live podcast stream test 24 minutes ago. And what I think I'm seeing there is like a studio he's got set up with 3 panels, 3 chairs, some soundproofing.
Okay, well, it's already over then. He's not on right now. It looks like he just set up a test and it's over. He's probably going to like delete this in a minute.
Man, you know what fucking turned me on to Rick and Morty was
I gotta look for him
was H3. I was like fucking because he's like I guess he's.
I'm gonna have to write it down on a pen.
And he did a podcast interview with him. I watched the podcast. I was like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? And why is everybody kissing his ass? And I'm like, oh, he's the guy who made Rick and Morty. And like, well, big fucking whoop. I was like, then when I fucking finally looked into it.
Did you see Philly D's video he put up today, the little short one?
I did, yeah.
That was some interesting shit. That guy cracks the stuff open and he just.
Man, you know what? He catches a lot of flack from people for being like an establishment like ass kisser, but man, he still fucking puts it out there, dude. I see him as being a pretty like I don't see him ever being ass kicker. I think he gives credit when it needs to be given, and he fucking gives criticism when it needs to be given. You know, I like Phil DeFranco a lot.
I find him as a news reporter, if you will, to be one of the most fair people, which is kind of sad to say that a guy on the internet with a webcam, and he's got a team now, of course, but it's like this. Yeah. I can trust that what he says is going to be less biased than almost anything else I ever hear. Yeah. He's just going to give it to you.
No, I mean, he's one of those guys. It's not everybody. There's a few people that whenever I see a new thing, I'll watch it. But like Phil DeFranco is definitely one where I'm like, I want to see what Phil DeFranco has to say about this shit. You know.
I just spilled beer all over my face.
I think he's like, he's not as he's funny. I don't think he's hilarious. You know. But it's almost, it reminds me so much of The Daily Show. He reminds me of Jon Stewart a lot. I mean, I will say he's not as funny. He's not Jon Stewart funny, but he reminds me a lot.
I think he's a little more like, I see what you're saying. I think he's a little more like, I don't know how do you say it, because Jon Stewart definitely, like, I mean, it's known, it's not a problem, but he's like going to lean towards a very liberal, very right. Where Philly D's very neutral. Like you can tell, like he wants to say stuff sometimes. You can feel which way he's maybe leaning, but he tries to not go too far that way. But yeah, he's not Jon Stewart funny. I mean, but it's fucking
Jon Stewart. He's not Jon Stewart either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so he's watching his P's and Q's, and then if he takes off like Jon did.
Quit The Daily Show though. I can't. I don't know who's the other host of it. It's never been as funny to me. He can't be doing as well without him.
I remember, dude, when what was the guy's name?
Craig Kilborn. I love Craig Kilborn. He was okay on it. He was all right.
I thought that was great. I remember when Jon Stewart took over, I was like, who the fuck is this New York?
He's from MTV, man. He was from MTV, dude.
But I remember being like, "This is bullshit." Like, what the fuck happened to Craig Kilborn? I'm so bad. I would say that, like, don't ever ask me for like advice on what to invest your money in, because I was just like, "This will never work." Like, are you kidding me? The Daily Show without.
And you probably on the same token, right?
Nobody will watch this.
I bet you at the same time you were like, Craig Kilborn's going to kill it on his new late night show, and it just
Talk Soup. It was called Talk Soup, and I watched it.
No. He did. He took over. He had what was it, like on CBS or one of those? He had like
like Conan O'Brien or like no.
Yeah, somebody he took over
later.
Like he was like one of the later shows.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure he did the show.
No. He went. Craig Kilborn had. I'm gonna look it up.
I watched him after that.
I think he took over for that English guy. That English guy nobody likes.
It was a show called Talk Soup that he did. I thought.
No, he's
Talk
not.
Soup was on E.
The Talk Soup guy. No, that's a different guy.
He's a funny dude. Talk Soup guy.
Talk Soup.
I am butchering his name. I don't know how I'm butchering Craig Kilborn so badly. All right, I figured it out. Okay, yeah. It was the late. Yeah, it was. Was it the late show? Or hang on, let me see.
It was a late show.
Yeah, it was the late. Yeah, it was the late show. He was.
It's my first hangout. Thank you for inviting me.
Let's go.
I'm a fucking asshole. Fuck you guys.
He was the Daily Show. A late night show for not too long. I don't think he did that long. Maybe he did longer. It says the late night show with Craig Kilborn. He went from 1999 to 2004, so that's 1,900 episodes. So
yeah.
Apparently he did it a lot longer than I thought he did. He did it longer than the Daily Show, which was 386. But I don't know. I never remember.
I like Craig Kilborn. I thought that Jon Stewart was going to bomb, but of course, like I got turned over. Jon Stewart. Nobody will ever be Jon Stewart in my eyes, man. That guy was so fucking good.
He was. Yeah, what is he doing with himself now? I mean, I thought he was going to
he retired. He does like commentary on stuff. But
I figured he was. I figured he was leaving to do something bigger.
I heard he was going to Monday Night Football.
He did the Daily Show for so long. Can you imagine that schedule? I mean, that's like, yes, because it's a YouTuber schedule. Like you can't imagine that schedule.
Yeah.
But
he signed something with like Netflix for something or others, whatever he wanted to do.
I don't know, man. Craig Kilborn is a fucking man. He was a fucking man. I loved him. Or not Craig. Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart. What a fucking
man crush. Man crush on that.
I fucking was heartbroken when he left the Daily Show.
See, I'm never up that late, so I never see any of those shows.
I never watch it when it came out. They run reruns of that motherfucker all day long.
I'm in bed. I got out of bed to meet you guys. When I saw that thing, I said, "Fuck, I'm getting out of bed." I took 2 Ambien. Now I'm drinking beer, but here I am.
Jesus.
I know. I couldn't miss this opportunity of a lifetime. Sitting in this garage all day long, waiting for one of you two to call me and hang out.
Well, I saw you were in the side chat. You're like, I'm about to get in there and fucking bust everybody up laughing. I was like, all right, I'm going to give you it.
Oh, I'm trying. Hasn't been so funny so far. One more beer, maybe.
I was like, I don't know. I saw that. I was like, all right, I'll send you one. I
do come to see you though, man. I like your bar. That's my spot.
I appreciate it, dude. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you were there.
Yeah. I had a good time anyway. Don't take that offensive. Like, there's good people, man. I hung out. We had a good time.
Dirty Shame has provided for me and mine for a very long time, man. It's good people in there.
Yeah.
It's always. We have a good time there. And if someone doesn't have a good time there, then they're probably a fucking asshole.
That's because they're getting escorted out because they're not having a good time.
Max Booze, check your Twitter messages. I slid into them DMs.
So Jake, is Jake still here? Or he left.
Are you watching on your computer?
Yeah, I see him. I don't hear him though.
Yeah. He's right there.
I want to ask him a question.
I didn't know if you were like, if you were watching or not. I was like,
I wear these glasses because I'm blind.
His visuals based on movement. I was staying very
Yeah, I can't
still.
see. I do everything by hearing, dude. Wheelies.
Like the Tyrannosaurus
Oh,
Rex. Danger.
I can't see.
Cannot see.
Oh, actually, yeah. Look what shirt I'm wearing. Speaking of that.
Yeah, right. That's exactly we're in the Jurassic Park shirt.
So Jake, yeah, I got a question for you, dude.
Oh no.
You ready?
Mm-mm. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So you and Dan, you guys were working on that little air conditioner unit on your bike, right?
Yeah.
And then this beautiful tattooed up girl comes in your garage.
That's my sister-in-law.
Oh, your sister-in-law, man. I was like, dude, that couldn't be Jake's wife. She's way too hot for him.
Damn, dude. Well, thanks.
I've seen pictures of Jake's wife. She's beautiful. Chill.
So yeah, that's her younger. That's my wife's younger sister.
Oh, well, if your wife looks anything like her, you are doing pretty well. Definitely married up.
Well, yeah, I'm doing good. For sure.
Luckily, neither your wife nor your wife's sister watches the internet, so I think that they'll never see that.
Actually, it was funny. I was telling her tonight. I was like, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, no, if you want to see some funny comments, go look at that air conditioning video you were in mine for about 5 seconds and go look at the comments on there. I was like, most of them are good. So
Your sister-in-law. Why was
Yeah.
everybody in the comments commenting like, "Who the fuck is that hot chick?"
Mostly.
Yeah, I didn't read the comments. I just saw her and I was like, "Oh man, I wonder if that was Jake's wife."
Yeah.
Oh, in the side chat, Shadowboxer Whale. If you guys ever come to the shame, everyone will welcome you with open arms. You ain't gotta worry about sitting down and being not a social butterfly. It's a bar full of fucking losers, man.
Yeah, dude. Everybody loves to talk in there, man. You can make your best friends ever.
You ain't gonna fucking don't have to feel bad.
Oh man.
I like to meet new people anyway, and I don't know what else is good down there through Ybor City. I went up to the pizza place.
All the way from Australia, the one and only Max Booze.
How y'all going? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
Yes, mate.
Good
It's
to
the
hear
accent.
after a while, man. Fucking, I haven't talked to you in forever.
I know, man. I've been POV and didn't have a computer that could plug anything in or anything like that.
I feel like the last time we actually talked was like 3 years ago on when Supa and Lexi were doing hangouts.
Oh, dude, it probably was. Those are some names that we have not heard here locally in a long time.
Yeah, I see they still pop up. They'll still comment on a video every now and then.
But I was gonna say something. I can't remember. The Jurassic Park shirt, Jake. Are you going to go watch what was it? The new. There's going to be a new 3D. You know how they did? Did you ever go see the 3D re-edition of Jurassic Park when it came out a couple of years ago?
And I don't remember that.
They only did it in America, and I was so cut they didn't do it here. They re-released the original Jurassic Park, but didn't Steven Spielberg it up, but not Spielberg, George Lucas. They didn't George Lucas it up and fuck it up.
They just what made it 3D.
Yeah, and that funded the new film because it was so popular in cinemas.
I didn't know that. So they got a new one coming out. It's gonna be awesome.
They're gonna 3D something else, but I don't know if I don't know.
You know what though? They can do that with all kinds of movies because my buddy was showing me he had a version of Top Gun. Or they'd gone through Top Gun. We watched it at his house. We put it was the kind of you have they're powered or something.
The active ones, the active 3Ds, yeah, man.
Yeah, but everyone's like, oh, so no, I'm going to keep powers. You think, dude, it's fucking pretty intense. It's more intense 3D than the theater is, from what I can tell.
It is. The active glasses are so much better than the passive ones.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we were watching that, and there's just little scenes that just you go the guy smoking a cigar in one scene, he blows it, and it's not like they do it where it's over the top in your face. Just the way the smoke wafted up into your face, you're like, what the fuck?
That's cool. Okay, but the most important part of that film in 3D, tell me, did the volleyball scene look amazing in 3D?
It's great.
Some 3D oiled up Val Kilmer, bruh. Come on.
Boys.
Oh man. So yeah, dude. But yeah, I mean, obviously, he's watching the jets fly through the sky and
Yeah.
shoot each other. And
Do you know the stories behind the Top Gun stuff?
Mhm.
Where most of the money went to buying the stock footage for the planes. This is my plane background. That's why I asked you that question about if you ever flown before. But they bought all the stock footage. They bought so much stock footage for millions of dollars that they were going to do Top Gun 2 and just use the stock footage again for the flight stuff.
Mhm.
So they were going to get, hey, Tom Cruise, you can act on the ground and be a CAG, a Commander Air Group or something like that. And when you're in the sky, it's a couple of cockpit shots, and then it's all stock footage that we bought for about $150 million.
You gotta get them miles out of it.
I wonder if they ended up selling a bunch of it later.
I wonder if they're gonna use that stock footage.
Yeah, to shut a stock.
I hope they do. I hope they use like 80s stock footage in the new Top Gun.
Oh, geez, that'd be good.
Gotta get some use.
What were they in? They were in F-14s or something, right?
I believe it.
Weren't they
it-
16s?
I can't. I don't look it up. Fuck. I want to know. That's a great thing, isn't it? We're like talking about this, and we can just look.
I know the internet. We had this conversation the other day. Someone goes, "Man, I can't remember that," and everyone just dives into their phones. You couldn't do that 10 years ago.
I think
GTS.
yeah.
GTS, Google that shit.
Oh man,
The
were they
aircraft used
16?
used for the fictional MiGs. Okay, I'm not talking about the MiGs.
Well, they weren't fiction. Oh, okay, fictional is in the
For-
movie.
Yeah, in F Tiger something. No,
Why are you looking that up? Have any of you gone and got the Rick and Morty value meals at McDonald's yet? Or they? I know they're all sold out and they've had a few riots in the country, but
I don't eat McDonald's.
smart move, bro.
it is. Yeah, it's F-14 Tomcats that were flown. By
Oh,
Maverick and Iceman.
Tomcats. You can be my wingman in day.
That's what it says. I don't know what a Tomcat version is. I really don't know enough about them. But
With a shorter wingspan, so they could turn more or longer wingspan. I can't remember. Like I love being an Australian. We buy all secondhand shit from the US. The US comes out here and does maneuvers with us up in the either down in the Gulf or up in the top of the northern part of this country. And we show them up with 20-year-old planes. They crack the shit so bad, the Americans. Like, damn it, you guys, you've got shit that's like analog computers and you're kicking ass. It's so good.
what are they? Yeah,
But-
what are they flying out? They're like in are they F-18s for the most part?
Yeah,
I know they got those
F-18s.
F-22 Raptors, but apparently they're so
Well,
fucking expensive. They don't build that many.
And they
of them.
can't even afford to have one because if one goes down, it's like you lose like 3 F-18s.
I remember seeing something maybe been on like Discovery or something whenever it came out, like when they first started playing with those F-22 Raptors, and they just try to go around just fucking missile lock each other and shit.
Well, isn't
and they couldn't, like, they had like a fucking squad, like 4 or 5 dudes flying around in F-18s and one dude in an F-22 Raptor, and they're like, it's unfair. We can't play with this guy. He's too good. Like, this fucking thing's stupid.
I can't remember. Wasn't the Raptor designed to be unstable?
I
can't remember. I think the idea was the Raptor was to be flying unstable. If you just sat there and let go of the controls, it would just wobble wherever. The idea was that made it more maneuverable and could turn tighter. So there's like so many computers, and it's like a freaking the new Audi.
Kind of like if you have
Kind of like do it, Dan, on a parasailer.
I was thinking, you think like when you have a bike with a real tight suspension, like the wheelbase is super short, it's got really steep fork angle, it can turn like crazy, but it gets super unstable at speed. So they just use a bunch of electronics to make it work somehow.
God, you're making me miss my SMR, man. God, that wheelbase was like almost the size of a Grom, and it was a 450.
Dude, the FZ07's got a retardedly tight wheelbase. It's way shorter than my Supermoto is. It's not fun. Like people are like, get that thing over 100. I'm like, it kind of is twitchy over 100 to be fair. Like I've been up 120 with it, but it's like it gets looser. No, my FZ07, it gets looser the faster you go.
Yeah, same here because the front tire's coming off the ground. Like I have a FZ09, like 90, anything over 90, I can't even really steer anymore. Like
What's
all my,
that? What,
all my
100
turning,
mile an hour?
Uh-oh. Guess you
all
just
the
left the
turning
group.
is done. All the turning is done off the back wheel.
If he doesn't get back in 5 minutes, we're off the air.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
You're
At
probably
least we know
he
it's
hasn't
not a
said anything.
hurricane.
Oh,
Oh man, no, you. So you were saying 100 miles an hour you were doing on a supermoto.
No,
How's that possible?
He said on his FZ8.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
RFCS. I saw FCS. Well, I mean, both my WR will hit 100. That's about where it tops out at. Well, not right now with the gearing I
But
have.
does it get
on.
like wicked head shake, or is it like
Not really. It's surprisingly stable. My DRZ 400, I used to get it over 110, 115. There's videos of me doing it. You got to keep it fifth and just wing it. Surprisingly stable at that speed. Like really
But it's
stable.
funny. The supermoto I had was a Husky SMR. So it was street. It's a race bike with some lights on it. It's insanity. Services every 5 hours and shit like that. And I'm riding it on the freeway, and my arms and shoulders would nearly come off.
had to stop halfway through to change oil?
That's right. We were going to take it on a road trip, and I'm like, no. Like every time we stop, we had to dump it. Nah, not taking
Well,
that.
the WR's not that much better.
It's Yamaha. Yamaha could take it.
It holds a court in a little bit. I do remember though, we were riding back from somewhere in Dallas, so we had like good 25, 30 miles up the highway, and me and my buddy swapped bikes, and he had a KTM 560 SMC or whatever SM, and so it's like the biggest you can bore that thing out to, like the biggest that mill can go to, like with bore and stroke before it's just blown through the sidewall. And I just remember like for one, the first few minutes being on the highway laughing because I could be going 70 miles an hour and still rip it up, just downshift it like 1 or 2 gears and just rip it straight up on the back wheel, like on a sit down wheelie at 70. I was like, this is fucking insane how light and powerful it is. But then by the time we actually stopped where we were going, 20, 30 miles later, I was like, I fucking hate this bike. He goes, it vibrates a lot, doesn't it?
It wears you down. It wears you down physically.
I mean, I thought
it's
my
like
WR was bad. I thought my WR was
That's why you need one of each. You have to have one of each. Jake, what you have in your garage is perfect. Right?
It is, except the WR is beat up and wore out. And I kind of want to get an CR 450 RX. I want one of those really bad.
Why don't you go hit up Motonosity? He's fucking crying to the heavens that he's selling his shit. Get that nice CRF off of him. Is that thing
Is he
nice?
selling that thing?
Well, hey, anything's for sale for the right price.
It needs different rims on it. I know those rims are worth money, so it's an easy fix. But I can't have a supermoto with cast rims, or whatever. I don't know if they're billet or whatever. I need proper spoked rims. Or you're gonna break them.
Yeah. Who was it? Him or downshift that snapped the? It was downshift.
Jump it or anything.
Okay. He snapped his wheel running over one of those little concrete things on the side of the
downshift. Has that
downshift?
If you got that supermoto off of him, holy cow, man, that's like my dream bike. And when he buys shit, he buys the top of the line stuff. He doesn't mess around when he does his builds.
It's a lot of money. He takes care.
Yeah. That's a $10,000 bike without the mods.
Well, like when he had supermotos are, my WR built to build a WR like mine would cost you new about $14,000. So they're not fucking
then
cheap.
Fix it up. Then fix it up, man.
I could sell it. Well, I could sell it as is right now and still get probably $6 for it. That's the funny thing. Everyone they see me get this FZ07 and they're like, oh, cool, blah blah. Which bike? Like I've heard people like, if you had to pick which bike would which would it be? It's like, well, financially, you still have to go with the old beat up WR. It's worth way more money. That bike cost more than the FZ07 did when it was brand new, and that came with knobbies. It wasn't even street legal.
Yeah,
we go through the converting it, the setting up the suspension, everything that's been done to that bike, but just parts alone will run you.
Josh just said he's lost his connection. He's going to try and get it back, but he probably won't be back in time for it to kick us.
Man, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
I'm 2 beers deep, man. I'm too late to quit for me. Somebody else.
I'm 2 beers. and I'm 2 jars in. They released jars of salted caramel espresso martinis. They're 1.5 standard drinks. It's just a little tiny jar. You splash some Coke in that, and you stay awake and get drunk.
And you bring it home. You bring that home and then splash your Coke in it.
Yeah. Like they sell them in like a 4-pack of jars. It's insanity. Like mason jar sort of bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Boy, I brought a 4-pack of that home. I'll probably get lucky.
Actually, right there.